What's going on, guys and girls? How are you doing today? It's Angry Roleplay here once again. Today I want to show you guys the final update to the Essence Drain, Contagion, BAIN, SOULREND Occultist build that I created in 3.5. Then it build transitions to the 3.6. I specifically wanted to test everything out in 3.5 so that I could later compare how much better it becomes in a 3.6. And holy shit, it became so much better, so much stronger, so much tankier. It's absolutely crazy. I also did my first deathless Uber Elder kill, which really was super smooth, and honestly I can recommend this build to all new players, even though it's like CI low life build, which is not the easiest thing to understand, but the amount of tankiness you can get, which allows you to reach most endgame content, as well as the solid smooth damage in the build, which is good for progression. Do not struggle anywhere. I think that his build is very nice league starter, probably one of the best. I also know that one of my friends, a lot of my friends and fellow Path of Exile players in the league and the guild mates and everyone else are playing the build and really enjoying it. So let's take deeper into changes, guys, because there's quite a few. I have changed to the Essence Drain in 3.6. First of all, the damage got buffed. It is much stronger now. At the same time, it has this small air of effect around it, and you could probably even run without the Contagion now. I actually did some runs with the GMP without the Contagion, and that's okay, but just do not recommend this because it's not very optimal. At the same time, we got Contagion buffed to 40 enemies. It spreads to the 40 enemies now, and holy shit, this is absolutely another level of clear speed, guys. This is absolutely mind-blowing, especially in the synthesis and this packed maps with a lot of monsters there. It's just crazy. At the same time, we got a Malevolence Aura, which increases all damage over time by 20%. It's a huge buff on top of Essence Drain. We also got BAIN skill, which is a curse tagged spell, chaos damage over time. It does pretty small amount of damage and duration is 2 seconds, but it's a fantastic skill. It scales with the other curses. It has a curse tag, so it benefits from all curse duration and effectiveness and all that stuff. It also synergizes with the other curses. It's triggered the link curses. The other curses also buff BAIN, so it's fantastic. It doesn't multiply the mana cost. At the same time, it gives damage. So it's a fantastic skill even on its own, like in a 6-link. If you go Profane Bloom on the Occultist Ascendancy, you can turn it into a damage dealer, like serious damage dealer as well. Serious clear speed tool. SOULREND is another new skill that we got in 3.6, and this is like caster-oriented, mana-hungry spell casting skill. It does the most damage out of all chaos skill, but unfortunately it's also the most clunky one, because it's, like I said, extremely mana cost hungry. It has very low duration, 0.4 seconds, so you can't really scale duration on this one. At the same time, for the clear speed purposes, it does the job. It does fantastic with the GMP. I cleared 99% of the game with the SOULREND, and I had no problems whatsoever. The only big problem started when I started bossing, like Elder Shaper. This is where SOULREND kind of starts to suck on the old occultist, but once again on Trickster it does the job even better. So that's about it. Let's take a look at the power building, guys, for the most changes to the build to the absolute max. So here we are in the power building, guys, and I wanna say that in my original build I had 3 versions of the power building. One with the like balanced DPS, one with the defensive with the Cerberus Limb and the shield, and one with the absolute top tier DPS with like aspect of the spider on top and all the pricing. I decided to leave just 2 setups for now because the highest DPS one is a bit of overcomplicated, and basically it's just the normal DPS, balanced DPS setup with the aspect of the spider on top, so it's kind of easy to scale this damage if you wish. Just get aspect of the spider, craft somewhere, reserve more mana with the Heretic's Veil, and you're good to go. So First of all, this is the balanced high DPS setup that you will see here. It's pretty much the same as it was in the original build guide, just a +3 bow with a Soul Strike quiver. For the helmet, I decided to leave Daedrus Scorn because it's absolutely fantastic for the BAIN. We'll be using BAIN here and the helm. This is absolutely GG. For the gloves, these are pretty much the standard gloves that I'm using right now for any kind of BAIN Essence Drain SOULREND build. This is just incredibly cheap gloves that allows you to get 1 extra curse. It also have 90 ES, so these are pretty damn good gloves, and at the same time they are much cheaper than you know, +1 curse amulet, which are mostly shit stats. So it's very hard to get a good amulet with the extra curse and something decent in it. So I decided I'm gonna leave gloves here because they're just an incredibly much more affordable options, and all my builds, like I said, are incredibly affordable. So this is the maximum damage you can get out of the build, pretty much, with the +3 bow and the Soul Strike quiver. The tree hasn't really changed that much. It's just pure DPS with spiritual aid scaling, allowing us to scale minion damage to us. Potentially you can get 2 nodes with the Lords of the Dead. You can scale it even more. Overall, it's just very minimal, very minimum energy shield nodes with maximizing damage as much as possible, as well as reaching these last 2 jewel nodes, as well as getting the Watcher's Eye, which is not mandatory but incredibly good to have. They will make you tanky. Energy shield wise, this is not the tankiest version, of course. This is about 8 to 9 thousand energy shield. If you get the clarity one, clarity and discipline Watcher's Eye, you can get like 9,000 plus energy shield. But overall, the damage is absolutely crazy on this one. If you really want to farm endgame content really fast with the Essence Drain, I can completely recommend to invest in this kind of setup. However, I'm not an incredibly, you know, skilled player, honestly, and I prefer defensive setup. I just want to die less, and I realized that in the 3.6 there's just enough damage to do everything, including, like I said, Deathless Uber Elder in about 4 minutes and a half. I did it. So with the current state of Essence Drain, it is more than enough to do anything, all content on pretty much, you know, a low DPS, like I said. If you so in the previous version we had like 1.3 million DPS, and here we have a little over 300, and this is the exact DPS that allowed me to kill Uber Elder Deathless in 4 minutes, guys. So you can easily relating compare this to how much DPS is necessary to do all game content. This is the defensive setup that I consider getting more defense here. I took all the energy shield nodes down below here as well. I also took with this new node called Arcane Guarding. This is absolutely pog if you have an energy shield based shield on you as well. This is absolutely crazy. I also get only 2 jewel nodes, but potentially you can get more if you can scale out of it. Overall, this is a super defensive setup with the Cerberus Limb, which gives you energy shield per armor in the shield, and Aegis Aurora is an absolute top tier shield for the build. It's super cheap and gives you equals to about 400 energy shield, so it's incredibly fantastic. Just the only thing that surpasses this is like 500 ES shield with resist, which is a different type of investment, honestly. The helmet is also Daedrus Scorn because +2 to our BAIN and BAIN in the hell. Body armor is Chef's. Gloves is once again Vixen's Entrapment. So practically the only difference between the high DPS setup and this setup is the weapons offhands, as well as the less jewels. The rest is pretty much the same, guys. At the same time, the Scepter and the shield allows us to shield charge and get fortify. Keep in mind that keep your shield charge low, so that will have lower strength requirement. If you have it very high, as you can see, the strength requirement will go extremely high, which I absolutely do not recommend. You don't really need this. On the right hand, we also have a model called Customer Damage Taken, increased duration, which is kind of a standard setup. In the balanced DPS setup, in the high DPS setup, we have this in the chest, which is a different story. But here we have a classic shield charge, custom damage taken, fantastic mobility, no need to flame dash, which I personally like. In the gloves we have our Blasphemy, Temp Chase, Enfeeble with Wild Blight, and the helm we have BAIN and +2 helm with Contagion, Despair, and low level Arcane Surge, and this allows us to get Arcane Surge buff absolutely every cast. Like every cast you cast BAIN, every cast you get Contagion out, you get always Arcane Surge, so it's always up. It's absolutely fantastic. At the same time, BAIN automatically applies Despair as well. For the most part of the game, this is not really necessary, but for bosses, this is incredibly strong. At the same time, these curses in the Blasphemy, in the glove, they always there. They are using with the Blasphemy, so they always like a major debuff around you. So overall, the 3 changes are minimal, like I said. The only thing that I potentially changed to the original build is I get Arcane Guarding, got all the energy shield nodes on the tree, so these are also good, like Resourcefulness, Lethal Assault full damage. This is like the very end game nodes that I took, as well as Soul Thief, just to get more energy shield. Overall, it's pretty much the same thing as the original build guide, just wanted guys to update. I also wrote the extensive written part, I also streamlined everything, so check out the written part, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you soon. First of all, I would like to thank you very much for watching the video. Your likes and dislikes, especially, as they push me forward even more. If you want to see more content, please consider subscribing to the channel. I do daily uploads of role-playing content, be it builds, guides, let's play, stream highlights, and upcoming RPG games. Also, don't forget to follow my Twitch stream to catch me live in action. I do stream daily on working days. I'm a full-time YouTube content creator and a Twitch streamer too, so if you want to support me, you can do it either from Twitch or by PayPal directly from my website angryroleplayer.com. Join my Discord channel too for a place to discuss RPG things offline, as well as follow my Twitter to be notified on any new content. If you want to get extra information like sneak peeks into upcoming videos, plans, different behind-the-scenes footage, you can also join the Unholy Army on Patreon as well, guys. Thank you very much once again for watching, listening to all this. See you soon.